Hey, welcome back. This is Ben Taylor with Raw Motivations. Just wanted to come on here and answer some questions that you guys have been asking. And one of the popular ones that I've seen over the past couple days, couple weeks, has been people asking me, why get married? Like, why would a narcissist actually get married? Like, what's the point? What's the reasoning behind it? Well, there's a couple different things that kind of go into it, and a couple different things I'd like to talk to you about, and even share a little bit of my story of why I got married. If you guys don't know who I am by now, my name is Ben Taylor. I run Raw Motivations. So I'm a self-aware narcissist. I'm on this platform to bring awareness about narcissism, growth, healing, and change. That's why I'm on the platform, so I can work with different people through one-on-ones, through coaching, through live events, through all the different types of things to help promote this awareness of what it is. The shit that it's done in my life, of how I've interacted and acted to other people, and how it's probably happening in your life. And you might need to wake up or have the awareness of what's actually going on. So anyways, a lot of people have been asking, why even get married? Like, what's the point behind it? Like, most narcissists end up cheating anyways, so why not just stay single? Why would someone actually want to be married and still do all those things? Well, you have to remember when we're talking about cheating, just in general, cheating for a lot of people has a big high. Has a big adrenaline rush, has a big addiction, like dopamine that gets dumped out into your system when a person's cheating. It makes the sex a lot better. It makes the interactions a lot better. It makes the excitement of running around, being covert, kind of hiding, making, quick passes between people, like in the middle of the night, like whatever it might be. Those things can be really exciting for a lot of people. Now you add that to someone who's narcissistic and has an obsessive personality type, and those excitements get even more heightened, get even more excited. There's the aspect of being able to be with someone and then later on being able to be with someone else. That's the idea of like a conquest or an excitement part that a narcissist might have. There's the idea of those people interacting with each other or passing each other and them never realizing. I know many people that they've actually met the affair partner, that the partners have met each other and never known. They've come in contact through a gym or through work or through a church or something like that, and they've never known that the other person was the other person. Now, there's times in those relationships that they do end up finding out or they do know, but there's that high and there's that excitement of, can I get away with this? It's oftentimes what the narcissist is thinking of, like, can I make this happen? You see, with cheating with a narcissist, there's oftentimes an underlying principle of being able to have my cake and eat it too. If you haven't heard of that, that's kind of the phrase, that's kind of the thought that's kind of go through the narcissist's mind of, hey, how can I figure out how I can have this, but also have this, and not lose this at the same time, like going back and forth. This is why narcissists make like false realities. This is why they work on like disassociating different things, because they want to be able to live as full as they can sometimes in both moments so they can continue to partake in multiple people at the same time. Sometimes this will get even like conquest oriented, like how many people can someone sleep with or how many people can someone be with? And you start to think like, wait a second, like what's the point? Like, why even get married at all? Well, there's an aspect that with narcissism is the idea of always having a supply. It's the idea of never being alone, of not going through life without having someone there to be able to validate you, to be able to give you supply, to be able to give you praise, affection, sex, whatever it might be. So for a narcissist, they're always looking for that person. They're always looking to have that person in their life, in the wings, on stage, all lined up so that they never go without having a supply. Well, in this type of situation, they want to always have a supply. So there's an option of, wait a second, if I get married to this person, then this person would be a lifelong supply. Be someone that maybe they'll think they're stuck in the marriage. Maybe they'll think they're obligated to stay with me. So as a result, let me go ahead and propose. Let me go ahead and do the next thing so that I am married to this person, and so they stay. That a lot of times is the concept too that narcissists are thinking through of like, how do I get a supply to stay long term? Maybe they've had only few success of someone staying a couple months or 6 months or even a year. They're like, wait a second, like we got to take it to the next level to be able to hold this person even longer. This is why a lot of times you'll see early on in the relationship a narcissist that, future fakes, talks about the future, like wants the future to happen, or pushes that future really fast of, I think we're really connected, let's go ahead and get married. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, like we just got married within 3 months of knowing this person, or 2 months of knowing this person, or a week. It happens. It's out there. So be really careful, because sometimes they'll just accelerate those type of interactions very, very quickly. But anyways, so talking about narcissism and why get married. So there's a concept of like have their cake, eat it too. They want to have both aspects. They want to lock in a long-term supply. There's another aspect that's a little bit more on the vulnerable side, and for me it's a little bit vulnerable to share, is there's an aspect of knowing that something is wrong. Knowing that something's different, and the narcissist actually just wants to hopefully say, like, maybe this will work. Maybe I'll find ideal love. Maybe I'll find the perfect partner. Maybe I'll find X, Y, and Z. And they're looking for something that's going to satisfy them or fulfill them, not understanding that they're never going to be satisfied and they're never going to be fulfilled with how they're pursuing things and with the void that's deep inside. So the idea is they can keep pursuing, they can keep trying to find this perfect person, this ideal partner, but the problem is they're going into it as a very imperfect person. They're going into it broken. They're going into it that's going to hit a lot of triggers time and time and time again. And as a result, they're going to be like, see, this just isn't working out. Like, it's the same exact thing. You're turning into a crazy ex, just like all my other exes. And they start going down that hill of devaluation. This just doesn't work out anymore. For me, a lot of it seemed like it was natural. It was like the next thing in the order of events. You see, I dated for a while. I'd gone very cyclical in all my dating relationships, where one was ending, one was starting, or one was starting and one was ending, like kind of all back and forth. And there was always this like crossover with people, so that I was never alone. And there was never a moment or a period of time that I spent without having supply. Either someone to talk to, someone to be with, someone to hold, like whatever it might be, there was always someone like in the picture. And if there wasn't, there was someone I was working on to get into the picture at the same time. So in my dating relationships, I had many relationships that were dating and then would go to physical side. And then I was like, okay, now we need to take it to the next level. So then we go dating and then physical, and then I'm going to propose to this one girl. And so got to the place where I was getting ready to get engaged to somebody. And her dad told me no, and I thought that was ridiculous at that point in my life. So like that ended and kind of ended up in messy, crazy stuff. Anyways, that ended. And then the next person, I'm like, okay, so the next person is dating, physical, and engaged, and well, next step should be marriage, right? The problem is going into it, marriage doesn't fix me. And that's the hard reality, and that's the hard part that I didn't want to acknowledge and I didn't want to admit, because I walked in the marriage being broken, being messed up, and as a result, I did stuff that ultimately hurt my wife, ultimately hurt many other people in our lives, because of the fact that I didn't work on me. All I was looking for was the next step, the next thing, the next supply, the next person. And as a result, it just keeps going. And so after marriage, that's why it just kept going. It kept going into cheating. It kept going into affairs. It kept going into all these different things because I hadn't fixed the trigger. I hadn't fixed the cycle. Someone in my life early on said something, and I didn't apply it to my life, but I'll never forget it. They said, if you feel like you're stuck going round and round in circles, break the cycle. And that's something I could never fully grasp, and I could never fully figure out what was going on. So as a result, I continue that cycle time and time and time again. For me, a lot of it was just, hey, this is the next step. This is what everybody else is doing. Maybe if I do this, I'll be a little less weird. I'll be a little bit more normal. Maybe I'll feel a little bit more emotion than what I felt in the past. Maybe I'll connect better with someone if I continue to pursue this relationship. It seemed to work out for my friends that way. Why not me? It only works out like that when the person is working on themselves. And at that point in my life, I wasn't working on myself at all. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have more, would love to be able to hear from you. If you want to interact and talk sometime, I do meet with people on a one-on-one basis, trying to work with them through their trauma, trying to work with them to get them to a place of healing, growth, and change. If you're interested in that, then click on the link down below. Would love to interact with you on a one-on-one basis. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're dropping like little nuggets of truth every single day, just talking about narcissism, bringing that awareness. Or maybe you want to listen to us on the go, grab it on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Got some crazy stuff, awesome stuff coming out there soon too. Thanks so much. Have a great day.